Even after 30 years, there's still Power Rangers teams that we've never heard of? I can't believe it. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's up guys, it's Este here and welcome back to another video, and you're tuned in to a brand new episode of Power Rangers Unsolved, where we talk about mysteries that has never been solved. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you haven't seen the last episode where we talked about the Squadron Rangers, I recommend you go check that out because that has to do with today's topic, new powers. Power Rangers teams that I've never before seen on Earth and basically been unexplained. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to smash the like button. 1,000 likes and I'll bring you some more Power Rangers Unsolved. And if you haven't subscribed, then join the E-Squad. I recommend you do so. Subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any single one of my future videos, because a small percentage of you is actually subscribed. So subscribe today because you can always unsubscribe later. Let's get right into it. Now, in the 2014 season of Power Rangers titled Power Rangers Super Megaforce, we see this team of Rangers has the ability to transform into many different legendary Rangers. All types of teams, from Mighty Morphin to SPD to RPM, different universes, different times, they have that power in the Morphin Grid to be able to do so. But as their mentor Gosei will later tell them, they can unlock new powers, that's right, new teams of Rangers that have never before seen on Earth. On Earth, the planet Earth, the planet we're on. There are 6 teams of Super Megaforce that have never been seen prior. These teams are the Battalion Rangers, the Blitz Rangers, the Prism Rangers, the Lightning Rangers, the Supersonic Rangers, and the Squadron Rangers. Now, of these 6 teams, only one of them has been explained, the Supersonic Rangers. I did a whole video talking about the Supersonic Rangers. They have origins and connections with teams like Time Force and In Space, and even the Psycho Rangers, so I recommend you go check out that video if you haven't seen that already. And in the last Unsolved video, I talked about the Squadron Rangers, so today we'll be talking about the 4 Ranger teams that have never been explained. Look at my fingers. They're wiggling. So, let's get right into it. First off, we got the Lightning Rangers. The Lightning Rangers were the second power set that the Rangers were shown using in the show, with the first being the Squadron Rangers. Now, if you remember in the episode Earth Fights Back is when we got our first episode with the Squadron Rangers, but later on in the episode Samurai Surprise, we got a brand new team, the Lightning Rangers. And in that episode Samurai Surprise, the Super Megaforce Rangers would transform into these Rangers during the battle with Metacor's X-Borgs. Now, the Lightning Rangers seem to be very adept and very good at martial arts, with each member of the team having their own martial arts skills, like how Gia would use the Yellow Ranger's powers to sense incoming attacks, and Noah would later on use the Blue Ranger's powers in the team's final battle against Levere in the episode The Raft. And these legendary Ranger keys that the Super Megaforce Rangers would have would also use something in the legendary Megazord. If they use the keys in the legendary Megazord, it can perform an aura attack on its enemies, which proves to be very powerful. So the Lightning Rangers seem to be a pretty powerful team, but where are they from? I don't know, because it's unsolved mysteries. I don't know the answer. Next up, we got the Prism Rangers. The Prism Rangers were the third power set that the Super Megaforce Rangers were shown using, also being featured in the same battle against Metacor's X-Borgs and Samurai Surprise. I don't know why, but Samurai Surprise was just an episode, just, you know what? New powers, new powers, new powers, just throw them all in there. The Prism Rangers use hard, light prism power attacks with hand-to-hand combat power augmentations. Emma would use this mode for a strong kick using the Pink Ranger's powers, and later on she would use the Green Ranger's powers for its strong fist. Jake would also use the Green Ranger powers as well in the episode Power of 6 with his Prism Fist. Bow, bow, bow. That's me fighting. So we kind of know what the Prism Rangers power is all about. It's all about using prism power to, you know, punch or kick. That's all I can get from the evidence that we have right now. Next up, we got the Blitz Rangers, also known as the legendary Dragon powers. They were the 4th power set that the Rangers would use. The Rangers would use the power of the legendary Dragon and were first seen in the episode The Grass is Always Greener, or Bluer, which is also just a weird episode in general. It's one of those episodes where the 2 characters like switch bodies or whatever. Isn't that like a very cliche thing to do in TV? Anyways, that's just a rant, a side note. Back to the mystery. Jake would later use the power of Blitz Black in the final battle against Levere. Now, something you might notice is a very important thing to note here is that all these new powers were used in a final battle against Levere, as all the Super Megaforce Rangers except Troy would go into a different new power mode, while Troy went Mighty Morphin Red. The choice of using all these different new powers modes was interesting, albeit never explained, and we don't really know a reason why they chose to use these new powers, or if they ever knew, or if obviously we never knew, about where these new powers would come from. The last team on our list is the Battalion Rangers, and these are the last introduced power sets in the season. The interesting thing about the Battalion Rangers was that we would never see a legendary Ranger mode used with the Battalion Ranger keys. However, the Red Ranger, Troy himself, would use a Battalion Red key in the legendary Megazord. How he knew about the existence of a Red Battalion key that would unlock a certain power is unknown, but that's Super Megaforce for you. There's a simple explanation for that. There's none. When Troy would use in the legendary Megazord, it would activate its Firestorm Strike attack. He used it in the episode The Wrath. So now we got all the basics. So let's dive a little deeper. The introduction of these new powers was heavily criticized by longtime fans of the whole franchise, as a lot of fans would see it as lazy, poor editing, because Power Rangers Super Megaforce used footage from Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, and Gokaiger had a lot of Super Sentai teams that were never adapted into Power Rangers. But overall, its execution of the story is the problem, and it's a major critical point in Super Megaforce, as without no proper in-universe explanation, it kind of lowers the entertainment value of the show in general. James W. Bates, a story editor for Super Megaforce, explains that this was a natural problem. There were some seasons that were easier to use, some seasons we couldn't use at all for different reasons. It could just be that the episode that had the season that was in the Saban canon wasn't very good. That was a very confusing answer, to say the least, but if I were to translate it loosely, I guess they tried to fit in a team in the canon, but it just didn't work out, so they said screw it, we'll just put a new team in there. Whatever, who cares? We care, obviously. As you might have figured, these new powers are adapted from different seasons of the Super Sentai series that were never adapted into the Power Rangers franchise. The Battalion Rangers were Kagaku Sentai Dynaman, the Blitz Rangers were Dengeki Sentai Changeman, the Prism Rangers were Choushinsei Flashman, and the Lightning Rangers was Hikari Sentai Maskman. The interesting thing was that Dynaman actually kind of got its own adaptation in the US. I plan to make a video about that soon. Leave a like and leave a comment down below if you want to see a video about Dynaman. Regardless of that, can we find an in-universe explanation for this? When it comes to the evidence of these teams existing in Power Rangers, all we have is the episode Bully for Ethan in Power Rangers Dino Thunder, as their symbols could be seen in the background of Tommy's office alongside other logos of Japanese exclusive Sentai teams that never got their own adaptation. So, like I said in the Squadron Rangers videos, does Tommy have a connection to these different teams of Rangers? What does Tommy know that we don't? We know Tommy spent a lot of time studying dinosaurs, but could he also have been studying Power Ranger teams? According to Gosei, these teams never showed up on Earth. So these teams could be aliens like the Equestrian Rangers, Tree of Triforia, or the Supersonic Rangers. They could be Rangers from other dimensions, like the RPM Rangers or the Downcharge Rangers. They could also be from the future, like the SPD or Time Force Rangers. We know the Supersonic Rangers are aliens, and the Squadron Rangers could have origin from the Thunderzords. So these teams might as well be from different planets. But we don't know that, so it's just a little theory. A Power Rangers theory. Just a theory though. These mysterious new powers aren't just regular powers though, or regular teams. They're actual people. In the episode Legendary Battle, the entire Squadron, Lightning, and Prism teams can be seen in certain parts of the battle. Although it's unknown if this was meant to be shown in the actual episode as real teams fighting, or if they were left due to the lack of editing. Obviously, we know that Saban uses footage from the Gokaiger Goseiger Super Sentai 199 Hero Great Battle, which, by the way, very long name. The point is still there. These heroes are still here, they exist, they're actual characters in the Power Rangers universe that have never been properly explained. We're lucky the Supersonic Rangers got their own explanation, but we want to know more. Will we ever get a proper explanation? What do you think? The comics would be a great way to introduce people to these new characters. So, comic question of the day. What character or what team would you want to know more about? The Battalion Rangers, the Blitz Rangers, the Prism Rangers, the Lightning Rangers, or the Squadron Rangers? Let me know in the comments down below, but thank you so much for watching this episode of Power Rangers Unsolved. Do you have a theory or an explanation of how these teams could exist in the show? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next week for another brand new video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, the Don Fuego, on Instagram, not Don Fuego. I'm Este, have a great day, and of course, and as always, stay awesome everybody.